Scorpio, thank you so much for your dear patience with this reading. I appreciate that. It's been kind of crazy busy, so before we get started with it, hi Bandit. There's a little change to the way I'll be doing things this month. So I'll be doing a February general thematic reading just around mid-January. Okay, so we're right here at the 21st as we speak. And yes, Bandit, hello. And so this reading will be sort of thematic, general. And as we near the beginning of February, I'll be doing the week by week play, okay, of energy. So they'll get a little more specific and more attuned to the particular week that we'll be looking into. And so it'll be in the same kind of way that we did it for the January month. So you can look back at that and see how the format will be. Nonetheless, dear Scorpio, thank you so much for your dear patience. Bandit, relax, please. Thank you. And let's get right into it now. No, Bandit. No. Hey, what's going on? What? He really wants to make a little appearance here. Just for you, Scorpio. He wants the chin rub. Bandit. I've got to read now, okay? So please, you're a good boy, okay? Thank you. Please relax. Please, thank you. Relax. Okay, relax. Thank you. So, Scorpio, I was meditating on energy before I turned the camera, and I was getting that there is almost like a hibernation period here that may be a focus, okay? And it's almost like I'm getting downtime, okay? And it's almost like I don't want to make a public appearance sort of feeling, okay? And the question for you may be, Scorpio, exactly in what way do you still participate in whatever it is that you may be participating in, but in such a way where it's, I'm hearing it's less, or the effect is lessened. There may be a focus for you on finances as well. Perhaps I'm hearing accommodating financially in some kind of way, perhaps to I'm hearing resurface again, and you may feel that your creativity is charged in a certain way by your financial, I'm hearing assets, okay? There is the Five of Pentacles that sits exactly perpendicular to the Star. I'm hearing royal treatment. Okay, take it as you will. We'll get into that. The Mother of Wands upright, overlaying the Ten of Wands in reverse. The Father of Cups upright. The Two of Swords upright. The Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Daughter of Wands in reverse, the Chariot upright, okay, and the Three of Wands upright, right at the base. And as I picked up this Three of Wands card, I took my hair with. So we'll heed that. There's something here perhaps that you feel you are to take on in a certain way, and in a way that is, I'm hearing deliberate, I'm hearing deliberate action. I'm hearing foothold as well. There may be a focus here on the finances of I'm hearing setting a certain mission in place, okay? Now, the feeling that I was getting for you as well as meditating on your energy before I turn on the camera, Scorpio, was almost like, it's like a question of, do I want to leave the house, okay? And specific for a specific event as I'm getting it, as I'm seeing it. And it's almost like, I was hearing as well for you off season, okay? Off season. As well as the feeling that there is a certain cycle to whatever it is that you're working with. And it's almost like, well, I'm hearing I go up and then I go down in a certain way, and that's normal and that's natural, and I expect it in a certain way, perhaps for a number of you, as you may perceive it or feel it or consider it. It may be industrial, okay, and having to do with the industry that you're working with, but I'm hearing nature as well for a number of you, perhaps seasonal, okay. There is the sort of feeling, and I was hearing for you as I was meditating on your energy before I turned on the camera, that it's almost like I want the party to be at my house, okay? And it's almost like the feeling that whatever it is that you're working with, you want to continue working with almost on a subdued level, okay, in an introverted way even perhaps, where there is still motion and movement happening, but just on a level that is, I'm hearing, less publicly acclaimed, publicly concerned, public role, okay, I'm hearing. So I'm hearing there's a privatized enterprise as well for a number of you that may be a focus here. But I'm getting as well, Scorpio, that there is a sense of mission. of purpose, of place, of value, and exactly what is that? That is what you're grappling with. Specifically as it pertains to your financial, I'm hearing capabilities, your financial, I'm hearing performance. What is it that you feel you're working with as a sort of nucleus, a core, okay? I'm hearing core mission statement. And coming to terms exactly with what that is for you may be a focus. And it's like, before I go out, I'm hearing on the job hunt, before I go out and send my resume, before I interview, I want to get super solid, clear on what it is that my prerogative is, okay? I'm hearing as a candidate. Now, you hold a certain expectation that is very, very high. There's something that you hold as a certain standard for yourself, and it could be a vision, it could be a dream, it could also be a feeling I'm hearing guidance, okay, I'm hearing specifically source. You feel that you hold certain knowledge. There is a certain paradigm that you're working with, Scorpio, that is almost like I'm hearing mundane, and it's like, well, I feel like so guided in certain situations. I feel so clear as well in terms of what direction I am moving in. I'm hearing altogether at the outset, but what is it that I'm actually capacitating this role by and with in a physical, public way, perhaps even financial way, is the question. It's almost like, how am I realize I'm navigating a ship, but what exactly, and through the undulations of, I'm hearing sort of outset of natural performance, is my day-to-day to look like, to feel like, to sound like, in a way that supports this grander vision and mission that I'm working on. I'm hearing mention as well, to mention. So you may be focused here on how exactly to communicate, to articulate a certain proposition. I'm hearing propaganda for a number of you, a certain, I'm hearing take-home message, but I'm specifically seeing you, Scorpio, at home, okay? And it's almost like, it's almost this feeling of like, it's raining outside, I've got to stay home, but at home you are almost passing the time, but in such a way that capacitates this vision seeking, in such a way, I'm hearing reference, perhaps, I'm hearing reference call, okay, calling upon references and thinking almost back, I'm hearing to past performance. So for a number of you, this may be related to job hunting, okay, for a number of you, and there is a certain sense of preparation that goes into that, as it seems. You have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Seven of Swords upright, 7-8 sequence, okay, with the Mother of Cups in reverse, right at the base of this Eight of Wands. We've got two mothers here. They're perpendicular to one another. You may be dealing with a fire sign that was coming through as I was meditating on your energy. If you are, I'm getting that you are in a certain way, and it may be your own energy, sparring it out, okay? That which is emotional and that which is performative. There's introversion and this extroversion, the yin and the yang, these two propensities. How are we grappling with them? And it may be, again, you and another individual. You've got the Father of Cups mirroring the Mother of Wands, the Mother of Cups in reverse. There is a certain attunement to a certain reality that you realize is playing a part, a role. And what comes in a certain way of how this energy is transmuted, I'm hearing transformed, I'm hearing also transferred, is not only relevant in the space that this, I'm hearing, working relationship resides within. Okay, so if it's an energetic spiritual relationship, there specifically and mostly, the recognition is that yes, certain changes and certain, I'm hearing, habit patterns are to take on different form, but in what way do they also reflect in the third dimension as it pertains to otherwise mundane, I'm hearing character play, character role. Every day when I show up at work, what is it going to look like, face like, okay, how is it going to be presented even, right? What is the sort of persona that this, I'm hearing mission specifically takes on, and that this relationship takes on, this period and this phase of transition and change takes on. So the personification of a certain, I'm hearing, dream as it pertains to, for a number of you, spirituality, as well as perhaps a certain relationship dynamic could be a focus. There may be finances related to it, a financial sort of, I'm hearing scheme, okay? But you have here as well a focus on communication. So what is your personal view? What is it that you realize this is just simply how I feel about it? And there's no sort of way of going about it, but how it is that I go about it, I realize is everything, okay? And so waiting to, I'm hearing, biding the time to determine for certain how in the third dimension, what changes take place on an energetic level will sort of carry through as, okay, and I'm hearing speak specifically as it pertains to how it is that it's communicated. there is a certain feeling here, Scorpio, of I'm hearing trying to find our footing. Okay, and it's almost like I want to stay at home. I'm hearing a mission. I'm hearing I want to understand how it is that I am to perform. I'm hearing specifically for a number of you in such a way where I am first and foremost finding my footing within what feels like an emotional dimension. And I'm also hearing discussion for a number of you. So feeling that emotionally I'm hearing on the table, I'm hearing that we're all set, that things I'm hearing are out in the clear, that emotionally we are, I'm hearing concerned, okay, that we are touching base emotionally on what perhaps is an emotional conversation. It's like, well, I want to make sure that, right, I'm hearing the analytics, okay, as well. How it is that we are processing our emotions, how it is that we are also contemplating our emotions, how it is that we are engaging and interacting. I'm hearing the interface of what is emotional is addressed in such a way where we feel that we are paying enough mind and attention to what is, I'm hearing, a harboring, okay, of an effect. So there's a focus here on emotions, Scorpio, in such a way where you may feel, you may see it to be that paying attention to the emotionalism of, it could be your own habit patterns, it could be your own, I'm hearing, sequences of events, feeling that emotional stability is ever most important, and taking the time to really establish a foundation for how it is that you want to channel this energy as well. As it pertains to matters of career and finances, there may be a focus here on transmutation of that as well, the role that we play emotionally in our financial world and vice versa, so to speak, as we may perceive it or feel it. You have here the Daughter of Wands. You may absolutely be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in reverse, who mirrors the Two of Swords upright. You then have the Chariot as well, right beneath this Daughter of Wands in reverse, the Three of Wands upright. There is a passivity, okay, to how it is that we have come to recognize a period, a point, I'm hearing specifically of reference of what it is that we deem to be an opportunity for us to take action in a certain direction, in a very clear direction. What is it that we realize is an opportunity, I'm hearing, for growth, that is impulsive, that is, I'm hearing, spontaneous, that is conducive to changing a certain dynamic, okay, specifically dynamic for a number of you, and this may be a relationship or partnership, and it's like, well, okay, to communicate about certain matters, we are to take certain actions on, and there may be, as you feel it, a certain action, okay, action specifically, action that you feel you are to take on to almost prove, okay, how it is that you, and what it is that you desire as a concrete, emotional new beginning. So the action for you, I'm hearing, is the action step. What is the step that I take to acknowledge, I'm hearing, the interface, the emotional interface. And you may be waiting on a certain opportunity. I'm hearing gold mine for a number of you, okay? For a number of you, maybe financial, absolutely, industrial. You may be dealing with, I'm hearing Capricorn specifically as well as a Cancer. Somebody who has Capricorn and Cancer specifically for a number of you there. There may be, again, a reference to the emotional realm, but also that which is financial, and also that feels stable in a certain way. It's like, well, if I'm going to move forward, and with whom I'm going to move forward, I want the understanding to be both financial, almost monetary, practical, but also inherently, I'm hearing an acknowledgement of the emotionalism and also the passion that we hold collectively for our vision, what it is that we are creating and where it is we're moving with that sense of creativity. Let's move forward into another spread. We'll do Celtic Cross here and see what comes through for you, Scorpio. There's something here, though, about the Star card. Let's leave it here. And so you have the Mother of Pentacles that wants to remain as well right at the base of the deck. but I'm also hearing the face of the deck, base and face of the deck. The Mother of Pentacles is in reverse. Big focus here on finances, okay, and the desire perhaps to stabilize, to establish where we stand financially. You have the Hierophant here, mirroring the High Priestess. Okay, there may be an individual who is, I'm hearing, entrepreneurial, okay, who is also mothering, nurturing, may have their own business. A question of partnerships, finances on the table. Again, you have here a certain, I'm hearing, performative role, action that you feel you are to take on, and it may be perceptive. The focus is on perception. What's the perception that we hold of what it is we feel we are to do. Ace of Wands upright, the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, you may be dealing with a Pisces, with crossover Capricorn, an individual who is incredibly, I'm hearing, financially minded, specifically somebody who's focused on their finances, someone who understands, I'm hearing, the scheme of what they're working with in a very personal, private way as well. Three of Pentacles in reverse is your theme, overlaying the Dot of Wands in reverse, the Chariot upright. I'm hearing the Mother of Wands specifically here with the Chariot. Again, you may be dealing with someone who's got fire, water, and earth. Now, there, you may be also be dealing with a Taurus, okay? Or I'm hearing specifically for a number of you, a financiary, a financial institution. You have two nines here that mirror one another, the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Cups. Water and fire mirroring one another, right sandwiching the Star, the Ace of Swords in reverse, right beneath the Nine of Wands. You're inching towards clarity of communication. What is it that is, I'm hearing my solid, and I'm hearing my soul or standing justice. What is it that I feel speaks well enough, okay, for what it is that I hold as a certain standard? I'm hearing medium as well. Medium, I'm hearing mediumship for a number of you, whatever that may mean. To you specifically, it could be taken in a number of ways. Eight of Cups, okay? Almost at Eight of Wands. Again, the focus being on perhaps transmutation of what it is that we feel is an emotional, I'm hearing, backdrop, backstory. You have the Nine of Swords in reverse mirroring this Eight of Cups. We are over thinking through what I'm hearing, processing what is emotional. The point is no longer, and you have three nines here, the point is no Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups, Nine of Swords, is no longer on what I make of what has been emotional, I'm hearing, interpretively. There's no longer this sort of interpretation of the emotions. The question is, how is it that we verbalize what consensus we've reached? Okay, the Six of Wands, I'm hearing verbatim as well. There's the desire to clarify, almost, I'm hearing solar again for you in a way that perhaps speaks to I'm hearing action, a level of action where we feel we're so clear on what it is that we feel. We're so clear on what it is that we understand. I'm hearing as well esoterically the variables that we've been working with, perhaps emotionally in an emotional dimension, that we feel so clear on the action that we are to capacitate to communicate what it is that we realize is a principle. I'm hearing parabola for you. This came through for a number of signs now. I believe it was Aquarius and Libra. Okay. Now, you've got here the High Priestess sitting pretty right at the base of your deck spread in reverse, mirroring the Star. You may feel that whatever this vision is connected to a highly intuitive, I'm hearing specifically mystic, okay? An individual who is incredibly intuitive. Somebody who perhaps has Pisces in the chart, prominently placed. I'm hearing financial standing, specifically with this individual, and it may be your own propensity, okay? I'm hearing washing away. What is it that, there is a focus here on a certain action. You have two aces here as well. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. What is it that is going to be the direction, the action that invigorates, I'm hearing, that also challenges us to shapeshift for a number of you, and to shift the paradigm that we operate through in the third dimension as it pertains to finances and career. I want to transform my financial world, okay? I realize that in a certain way I am being guided through that process. It is a process that is in a certain way attuned, I'm hearing, to the higher realms. I'm hearing the higher ups, take it as you will, higher dimensions. But in a certain way I realize I am to take a certain action, a certain capacitation, okay, of an understanding now that I now am in a certain way clear on. All roads lead to home, I'm hearing. You realize it's a matter of coming, I'm hearing, face to face, head to head, I'm hearing close call, okay, to close terms with what it is that we feel is a guiding, I'm hearing, message that is guiding also sort of expression that we are to take on as we approach matters that are otherwise just practical. Okay, and it's like in a certain way, I can't just address my financial world in a financial, practically minded way. I'm hearing adopt certain measures, certain principles. Okay, I'm hearing certain schemes. So I'm hearing again principles. But at the end of the day, how it is that I communicate perhaps even these principles to myself, how it is I come to terms with these practical, I'm hearing, endeavors, practical adventures as well, I'm hearing, in a personal way, is the focus. So I'm getting here, Scorpio, that you're working with almost a conceptual framework that you are to come to terms with. And it's almost like, this is my language, okay? How am I going to communicate my language in such a way where I'm hearing also others can understand, can adopt, okay? I'm hearing the vision seeking. Perhaps it is a process that you're coming to terms with that speaks to matters that are inherently, I'm hearing specifically emotional, that are also spiritual, okay? And that hold a certain sense, I'm hearing a certain prerogative in matters that are otherwise financial, that are material. I'm hearing specifically material assets. I'm hearing, what do we make of them? Now, you may be driving a certain community. I'm hearing community towards, I'm hearing an adventure, okay? Specifically an adventure. Again, the focus being on the Ace of Wands. What is it? Ooh, heavy energy here. I'm hearing turbulent. It's almost like you feel like you're working, I'm hearing a wildebeest, specifically with a beast. You're working with certain, I'm hearing cockpit, okay? You are in a certain way working with, I'm hearing power, okay? And I'm hearing the power of potential. It is a matter of what you, I'm hearing, take on to be as a driving force. What is it that drives me? And it's almost as if what drives you becomes what you communicate. What you communicate is a reflection of what, in a certain way, how it is that you are, I'm hearing, interacting with, adopting a vision. I'm hearing in the solid state form that you address. It's somewhat of an abstract message, Scorpio, but the focus here that I'm getting for you is on, yet again, I'm seeing you as working with two very different paradigms. And it's almost like I'm hearing shape-shifting specifically for you, and a very sort of Piscean, Neptunian 12th house sort of energy, where it's like, and I got this feeling as well for Pisces. I remember the last month's readings, just around October, November, December, okay, of being well aware of the multidimensionality, the many dimensions that you may be working with, that which yet again is energetic, spiritually based, but then also holding a certain relevance, okay, and I'm hearing specifically prominence in, I'm hearing the earthly realms. Nonetheless, the Father of Swords here sits right mirroring the High Priestess in reverse, the Father of Swords in reverse, or maybe I'm hearing a verbalism, a verbal game, a question of how, again, things are to be schematically, I'm hearing specifically proven for a number of you, as you may see it, as you may feel it, what stance we want to take verbally, how it is I'm hearing we want to carry this consciousness through and forward in a way that is, I'm hearing, colloquial. How do we want to communicate about what this, I'm hearing, shape-shifting is specifically, okay? How we have been moving perhaps through different dimensions, through different, perhaps even personas, and how it is that we've been pursuing and approaching what is and feels like a mission that engages our propensity to feel, okay, energetically, emotionally as well, perhaps spiritually, but also to feel, I'm hearing, excited, to feel passionate about what it is that we are creating by way of what it is that we're feeling, how we're following certain hunches, okay? You have the moon in reverse that mirrors this 5 of Pentacles upright, 3 of Cups, same as said, Pentacles, or maybe a focus on work life, home life, family life, I'm hearing as well, co-workers and the like, so on and so forth, mirroring the Father of Swords in reverse. You then have the 7 of Cups, right, mirroring the moon. Moon in reverse, 7 of Cups. This had come through for Aquarius, prominently so, the 4 of Wands, upright, mirroring the Three of Cups, 3-4, a sequence. Okay. Again, you've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse as your theme, the Daughter of Wands in reverse in your theme, and the Chariot upright, mirroring the Three of Pentacles in reverse. What is it that I'm hearing is the I'm hearing is the indeterminability of what you're working with. What cannot, I'm hearing, be proven? What cannot be, I'm hearing miscellaneous as well. I'm seeing miscellaneous, right? That's written on this organizer box that I have on my desk here right now. It's almost as if what is placed as other, so to speak, being a value that is constant through your work, through whatever, yet again, it is you're working with that feels to be like a mission. And it could be a creative project that overlaps with matters of finances and career. What is it that we feel we are building? And understanding exactly what and why it is that we are feeling what we're feeling in every moment through the process serves to charge your sense of stability with what it is you are creating and how you're moving through different processes of creating what it is that you are. The focus here is on action, yes, on movement perhaps, or maybe translocation here, an actual movement and move for you. But seeking out a sense of stability first and foremost, feeling like, what is it, and I'm not getting it necessarily as I want to feel financially stable, okay, but what is it that is going to stabilize my movement and motion forward? What is it that's going to feel like a path that I'm moving along? I'm getting that there is a focus on dynamism yet again, but taking yet again the time to understand the sort of longevity even of what it is that we're not just working along, but what we're working with as a perspective and value of, I'm hearing, consistency and stability. Okay, so it's almost like stability isn't, as being stability, let's say financial stability, is not the focus. Being physically feeling like I have a home, I have a place, it's stable, I know where I'm staying. If for those of you who have perhaps have been Airbnb-ing around, traveling, and feeling like I'm hearing stable in terms of in a physical way, a material way. I'm not getting that necessarily the focus for you is on I want to stabilize. I'm hearing a foundation. Okay, but take it as you will. It could resonate differently for everyone. But I'm getting specifically for a strong number of you that this is a focus on the sort of principle of stability that characterizes how you are otherwise dynamic. So it's like almost like I want to move. I don't want to be fixed. I want to move. But why am I moving? Stabilizes for me my understanding of what form I want to take on dynamically. Okay, so a bit twisted, right? A little bit also abstract there, perhaps a little philosophical. I'm getting, though, that you're taking the time, I'm hearing, to think through it, to also rationalize it, perhaps terms, financial terms as well. Again, to capacitate a certain sense of movement and motion forward in such a way that you feel is, I'm hearing, speaking to a higher call, a higher cause, and is being carried out into the long term. Now, I'm hearing as well a focus on objectives. I'm hearing presentation skill. What is the objective? What am I going to present? How am I going to present it? I'm getting you are clear in a certain way on what it is I'm hearing you are navigating through and what you are in a certain way navigating with as a sort of delivery message, okay, a take-home message, and I'm imagining this sort of ship, okay, that is carrying cargo. Okay, the question is not, is it carrying cargo? And the question is not, is there something on the ship to be delivered, and what is that? I'm getting that's not the mystery. I'm hearing, what is the take-home message? How is it that we are carrying that through time and space to the, I'm hearing, recipient? And I'm focusing here on the Mother of Pentacles in reverse, or maybe, again, a financiary. For those of you who may be seeking funding, it's almost like I need to make sure my mission statement, I'm hearing, is solid the way that I project it, the way that I profess it and express it. So I'm hearing the locomotives of your cause, okay, how it is you communicate, perhaps even the dynamism of your cause, the dynamism of your take-home message. Well, I'm hearing one way. I don't have just one mission statement. I'm hearing plain Jane, plain and simple. I'm hearing working with just one direction of I'm hearing time specifically. Okay, I'm not just working with one direction of time. Okay, whatever that may mean to a number of you. There is a focus here on, again, shape-shifting. It's kind of like, well, I need to be outright with the fact that my principle is not time. I don't perhaps value specifically time as a principle in my work. The focus for me is on what naturally arises. I'm hearing as a cause, okay? I'm hearing undulations. What is it that changes naturally as well, that perhaps is cyclical? I want to communicate that. I'm hearing just that. I want to communicate I'm hearing in an open-ended fashion how it is that I'm hearing acknowledge time, but I'm hearing sold to time. I'm hearing as well sold on time. Okay, time coming through, strong focus for a number of you, and again, I'm getting this feeling of a sort of pending nature for you here. So I'm getting that you're not rushing anything. I'm getting as well that you don't want to, I'm hearing deliberately, I'm hearing evaluate or scheme. I'm hearing also devalue. I'm hearing the motives of your business for a number of you, whatever that may mean to you. And it's almost like if you're, again, for those of you who are perhaps seeking funding, I'm hearing specifically institution. It's almost like, well, I can't, I'm hearing, I can't promise, okay, exactly, perhaps numerically as well, what it is that I am to create. As what I create changes, I'm hearing an interface through time. But I'm hearing what is my proposition is held in the frequency, the principle. I'm hearing as well the fabrication of my cause. What exactly drives me to show up? What exactly again drives me to move? Even if it is dynamic, even if it is, I'm hearing unfounded, I'm hearing, even if it is ungrounded, what is the principle of what I feel so much about, so passionate for? Okay, so there is a focus here on communication, okay, in a public way. Then it's almost like, yet again, it's like you feel that there is a public dimension to what you're working with. There is the need to perhaps communicate, okay, in a very clear, outright way, what it is that you perhaps have been ruminating on. And I'm getting, though, that the time that's being taken here is to exactly, I'm hearing, address a certain public concern. So again, if it's funding, you're taking the time to really almost just simply move through what feels to be a natural process, okay? I'm hearing specifically an undulation of time through time. And again, I'm hearing down season, off season, and I'm imagining somebody who's eating, okay, specifically eating, like snacking at home. And knowing it's like, wow, I can't go yet. I can't sit. I'm not gonna do it yet. I'm hearing it's simply just not. I'm hearing the time to interface yet. Meanwhile, okay, engaging, it's interesting, still engaging the public sphere. And in such a way where it's, again, I'm getting this focus on, well, I want the party to be at my house. I don't want to have to like go out and I'm hearing present myself outside of, I'm hearing my play, okay, my scheme. I want to feel that I am still, I'm hearing in a state of processing. So it's almost like the desire is to be unchangeable within the scope, within the landscape that you're working with as you prepare, I'm hearing, for a certain passage. Again, take it as you will. It could be taken in a number of ways, right? Be it a passage that is written, spoken. I'm hearing addressed. Nonetheless, Scorpio, there is perhaps an emotional cycle as well that you are, I'm hearing undo for, that you feel you are to address, well, plain and simple. And it's like, well, this has been, I'm hearing the interference. Okay, I'm hearing specifically there may be a focus on communicating about whatever has been I'm hearing wedlock, whatever that may mean to a number of you, whatever has been in pending or processing, it could be, again, processing of what is otherwise emotional, that is a focus here for you, and you may be engaging certain individuals. It could be people who you feel very, very comfortable with. I'm hearing for a number of you, perhaps coworkers, someone who understands perhaps. It's like this. It's like, before I present to the whole company, okay, I have certain coworkers that I routinely enact with, that I routinely engage with. And so I feel comfortable with working through my sort of thinking process. I'm hearing in the logistics of what it is that I am to, in a certain way, communicate. I'm hearing come out with within that smaller group of people. I got a similar feeling for Sagittarius, very, very much so, a similar feeling for Sagittarius. Feel free to check that video out if you feel that there may be crossover, if you may be dealing with Sagittarius, or if you have Sagittarius prominently placed in your chart. Nonetheless, Scorpio, the focus is on the vision as well, and how it is that you, I'm hearing the membrane of this vision, how it is that you communicate. I'm hearing symphonically, how it is that you almost cultivate. I'm hearing this embryo, okay, in the embryonic stages of what is to be revealed in a certain way, to be communicated. I'm hearing passion to understand yet again how it is that the cause even for concern is for what it is you're working with is to be, I'm hearing, situated, and also I'm hearing performed, okay, publicly. So if there's something, Scorpio, that you're working on, okay, where you're like, I'm seeing specifically you with a number of people who are, let's say, coworkers, or let's say you are, I'm in tandem, riding in tandem, you may be co-founders of a certain company. There's a certain perhaps mission, a certain vision, a certain take-home message, that a certain cause, okay, I'm hearing venture specifically, that you want to address in the work that you do. Before it is that you come out with that, you may be taking the time to really, really, I'm hearing nitpick, to almost also rebound ideas off of each other, and almost, I'm hearing challenge one another, interface, as you prepare for what will be an otherwise public, I'm hearing specifically interrogation. Take it as you will. There may be a political aspect to it. There may be, I'm hearing socio-political aspect to it, and it may be charged, okay, almost like, I'm hearing conservative, okay, conservative, whatever that may mean to a number of you. There, yet again, may be a focus on the politics of what you're working with. Again, I'm hearing standard time. You're taking the time to process. I'm hearing the verbalism of what it is that you feel is sort of an important revelation. Now, Four of Wands is what you lead out with, upright, mirroring the Three of Cups. What you're working towards, Scorpio, be it you with others, is the harnessing of a certain vision that is to be, in a certain way, I'm hearing viewed as a proposal. And so it's almost like you're making a proposal, okay, or whatever it is that you may be communicating may project onto others a certain proposal. I'm hearing specifically venture. You are focusing on exactly what this portal will, in a certain way, I'm hearing determine, okay, and perhaps maybe taking into consideration the various factors, okay. It feels to you like there is a certain consciousness on a certain level that is to specifically not be underestimated. Okay, and it's like what we are communicating, what we're working with, requires a certain level of, I'm hearing, the opening, okay, of awareness, and be it, right, the desire to build awareness around a certain topic, a certain message. The focus is on what will be, I'm hearing, the operation of what it is that we're I'm hearing, socializing about specifically. and it could be the social operation, the social prerogative, and it's almost like the focus could be for you, Scorpio, socially, what is the social dynamism that will charge whatever this take-home message is, whatever this vision is. The desire, yet again, I'm seeing specifically a group of individuals who, and I'm feeling sort of a pressure on my left side of my back, so take it as you will, whatever that may mean to you. For those of you who are familiar with energy points in the body, I'm hearing specifically energetic meridians. I'm hearing grid systems specifically. There could be a focus for you here, Scorpio, on wanting to provide for others. I'm hearing specifically in a public way, such an opportunity where people feel like they understand how to make a change that is in accordance with what it is that you are projecting. I'm hearing specifically your values. So there is a certain projection that I'm getting you're focusing on, and let's take a few more cards on the Four of Wands to see exactly what is moving through. Okay, we have here the Three of Swords upside down and the Father of Wands. Okay, there may be a focus, 2 threes here, a focus on, and actually 3 threes here, the Three of Pentacles as well. A focus here on, I'm hearing Sagittarius, specifically for you with this Father of Wands, perhaps even Leo, maybe a Leo archetype, maybe a focus here. Exactly how we maneuver a certain character play amongst ourselves. And there may be a focus on laying certain groundwork here that is perceptive, that is held in value. I'm hearing value proposition. How is it that we align our values in such a way that makes very obvious what it is we feel is an opportunity that we're working towards and through? There may, again, be a focus on how we communicate collectively, and specifically maybe you and 2 other individuals, on what it is that we feel to be a certain prerogative, a certain message, a certain mission as well. And there may be a key player here, Father of Wands, who you want to get on board. I'm hearing specifically that you want to get on board, but there is the need to, I'm hearing allocate. I'm hearing specifically allocate certain, I'm hearing dimensions, okay, to also include, okay, to think very, very, very thoroughly about how it is that this energy, this perhaps archetype, individual, their role is to be harnessed and included, perhaps in a public way. And it's almost like we want to include this individual, but how do we do it in such a way where they are not, I'm hearing, a challenge to the interface, how perhaps we present something to the public. So there could be a financial, political, socio-political, again, feeling that whatever you're working with is sort of charged, okay? As we relay a certain, and work towards relaying a certain message, okay, for the public specifically. Thank you so much, dear Scorpio, for tuning in. Love and light to you on this transformational journey forward. And I know that some of you have been asking if I have any personal services, personal readings, and the like. And I do private readings. You can find more on those on the link in the bio box below. You can click that, and there are a few options there. I have a mini energetic assessment and a full-length energetic assessment that takes a deeper dive with taking a look at your energies, so on and so forth. I focus on elemental composition, so feel free to take a look at those via the link below. I also do astrology reports that are full-length, about 13 pages. Take a deep dive with your astrology chart, taking a look specifically. I focus on soul path, purpose, calling. So matters of career, if it's a focus for you and you'd like to sort of use the birth chart as an avenue to discover what areas of life perhaps are most conducive for the channeling of your personal energy, your energetic frequency, that may be something of interest to you. You can click the link in the bio box below as well to get routed to that product to take a look at that. I also do energetic alignment protocols. So for those of you who are feeling a little out of balance, okay, perhaps you've got a lot of water in your chart naturally, it's a propensity of yours, then, right, if you're feeling like I'm feeling too much, okay, I'm hearing overblown, I'm hearing outblown, specifically for a number of you, there is, there are perhaps ways to channel that energy in a way that is conducive. So not necessarily eliminating. It is impossible to eliminate energy, right? Energy is energy. It's how it is that we channel it. And so in a certain way, there, as we may perceive it or feel it, there may be certain avenues for channeling certain energetic propensities in your personal chart specifically that may be conducive for you. Okay, so if energetic alignment is a focus, if that's something that you want to target, then we'll take a specific look at your chart, detailing exactly how the elements are working in specifically proportion to one another in your chart, in relation to one another, and we can devise a personal protocol for you. Okay, love and light to you again, Scorpio. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.